Hey y'all, sorry this is at like a weird ass angle. I forgot my little doohickey stand thing, which helps a lot. And I didn't want you guys not to hear me and then find out after the fact, so I have it on its side. But I'm here to do the full moon in Capricorn reading. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Choose A or B. you know the rule. You know the gig. Okay, this tarot wants to come out. And then the runes. All right. So, I just completed my first group event here in the space with the Freya Temple. And oh my goodness, was it absolutely amazing. It was beautiful. It was just everything and more that I thought that it could be. And from the feedback I got, it was exactly what they needed, and they enjoyed it too. And I loved hearing about the experiences, because during, like a hypnotic journey, you have your own experience. If you've ever been in one, or if you haven't, like, no two are the same. No two experiences are the same. And usually, like, and I just love listening to, like, everybody, how they experienced it, because it's so cool to see, like, we're all going off of the same journey, but each one's different to your individual life's journey, and it's nice, I like to hear those or whatever. So I'm gonna stop rambling and get to it. So if you choose A, we're doing you first, per usual. All right, we're going with the regular tarot today. However, it is modernized in what looks like a water coloring painting type deal. So this is for A's. Where my A's at, let me know in the comments. And if you are catching the replay, do me a favor and do #replay so I know how far this reached. That'd be cool. Coolio. A's. Okay. So you got the 9 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. 2 of Pentacles came out upside down. I feel like it wants to be read that way. So we're going to read it like that. I feel like this is you right now, if you chose A's. I feel like there's been a shift for you. Like, you've done all the work, you've put in the steps, and now you can finally, after all this time and effort, sit back and go, I can pat myself on the back for all of this that I've accomplished. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Beautiful. Almost like this depiction, almost exactly how he's sitting there and he is proud of himself and he's got all his cups lined up. But I also feel like there's this, like, where to go from here. And I feel like that's where the 2 of Pentacles upside down comes into play. It's like to continue on this path of success and growth and things going right for you, you can't allow yourself to be scattered all over the place, is what I'm seeing for you, A's. So I feel like maybe you're juggling some things and you're not doing a very good job at juggling them. So I feel like that is like your guides or the universe coming in to tell you, like, pick one, right? Or, like, it doesn't have to be like pick one and never pick the other one up, but more like choose one thing to focus on at a time, put the other thing down, and when you align yourself with this thing or whatever it is, you know, you get to the place, you do the thing, you know, it comes to completion, whatever it is, your focus is on one thing, and then you can go and pick up the other thing and move on from there. I feel like if you do it in a structured manner like that, like one step at a time, one thing at a time, things will flow smoothly for you. However, if you try to do too many things at once, if you try and, you know, complete everything all at the same time, it's those balls you're juggling, one of them is going to go flying. You know, like, it's not going to work out the best in your favor. So take your time, you know, it's not a race, go at your own pace. Yeah, so you got the Ace of Wands. I feel like this is what will come out of aligning yourself and doing things. Like doing things one at a time. You'll be able to complete those things, and then the gift of the Ace of Wands, like a new, like once you get, like, I know that like Pentacles is like earthly things, but I feel like for A's, like it's in the mind, in the sense that, like, as above, so below. What's in your mind comes out into your life. So if your, like, thoughts are scatterbrained, like, your life is going to be scatterbrained. So I feel like it's the connection between the two. So, like, put down everything else and only focus on what you need to do, or, you know, need to focus on at this time. One thing at a time. And then poof, this, like, I don't want to say miracle, but that's the word that came to my head. But it's like, it's an idea. It's an idea from you. But I feel like it's, like, this can't come through if you're scatterbrained. This can't come through if you're still juggling your shit. You get what I mean? Like, you have to slow down and make those steps before this can come through, or it's not going to come through for A's. Which leads us to Page of Cups and the Justice card. I feel like that is like this thing that is coming through, this idea, this thing that you're creating, whatever it is that you're trying to, you know, that is going to come to you, that you can birth into this world, it's new, it's exciting, it's almost going to feel like it just fell in your lap almost. Like, I feel like it's going to lighten you up. It's going to feel almost like too good to be true is what I'm hearing. Like, that is how you're going to feel about it, or how you could feel about it, is you're going to be like, well, wait a minute, what's the catch? Because it's going to be like, bam, 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 you know, like, you get your shit in order, and then the idea comes through, and you're making it happen, and it's feeling good, and it's lighting you up, and, like, you're like, is life supposed to feel this good? Like, I feel like, but yes, it is, because this is everything balancing itself out. I also feel like this is kind of like a reminder to be like, if you don't get your ducks in order, everything's going to balance itself out, and that's not necessarily for the good, you know? Like, in the sense that, like, the universe is always, you know, it's always a push and a pull. It's always, you know, yin yang. It's a flow. It's a balance beam, you know, like all those, whatever, whichever one you want to take with you, whichever one sits best with you. So even if you don't take my advice, or you don't listen to yourself, or my advice, the advice from Spirit, through me, is if you don't do this, things will balance themselves out in reality, but will it balance itself out in what you sow is what you reap. What you reap is what you sow. I can't remember right now if it's whichever one it is, but like whatever you are watering is what is going to grow, I guess, is what I feel like for A's. So I feel like the question for A's, like what you need to ask yourself is like, where's your attention going? What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the good in your life? Are you focusing on the bad in your life? You know, is your mind constantly being run by things that have nothing to do with you? Or is it on goals that you set out for yourself, things that are for your highest and best? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's where that balances out. So if you focus on things that have nothing to do with you, that's what you're going to draw in, is more shit and drama and bullshit or whatever, things that don't have anything to do with you. You know, things that are going to rope you in. Or if you focus on what is for your highest and best and your own journey and your own creation and what you were brought here to accomplish and to do, to bring forth in this earth, then that is what is going to, that's the plant that's going to grow, because that's the seed that you are sowing. So the rune for A's is Rado. Travel, both in physical terms and those of lifestyle direction, which I think is funny because we are talking physical terms, you know, your physical world, but also the direction that you're taking your life, which is technically, they're both the same size of the coin, right? As above, so below. What you think is what you live. So, a journey, vacation, relocation, evolution, change, or pace or setting, seeing a larger perspective. So when I think of Rado, I think of, if I'm saying that incorrectly, I'm sorry. I mispronounce a lot of words. Is like fast movement in the direction that you're focused. So I feel like this brings me back to that focus on the mind for you A's. Like, I think you really need to take a moment and think for yourself, what are you focusing on? What are you thinking about most of the time? Because that is the direction you're headed. So then ask yourself, is this where I want to be? You know, is what I'm thinking, the thoughts I'm having, the physical reality that I want to create for myself? Because it's happening, right? And you are full steam ahead towards whatever it is that your brain is focusing on. So that is for A's. Let's move on to B's. Let me know in the comments if you chose B. So it's funny, I'm seeing both in A's and B's. The place that you're at right now is a great place. I'm smiling because, well, I'll show you, but for you who chose B's, right now you are the Four of Wands. You are doing your victory lap. You are celebrating something, the success of something, and it's something that you created. But you're not done yet. So the Empress came in. but she came out upside down. So I'm feeling like it's almost like a pause or like a stall. Like, don't let this celebration like get to your head, in the sense that like when it's time, like when the music dies down, you know, and the barkeep says you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, like that is your cue to go home, in metaphorically speaking. Don't get stuck here in this like, I'm on top of the world, because if you do, I feel like if you're still up there like, yeah, everything's going great, everything's awesome, I accomplished this thing, look at me. Like, it's great to be in that. You need to have those moments, but don't linger there, because that's how the Empress comes in upside down. I feel like that is like, you still have more to create. The Empress is coming here to be like, this isn't like your threshold. It's not where you're stopping. Like, this ain't your ceiling. There's more to it, right? There is no ceiling. The sky is the limit, right? So I feel like the Empress upside down is coming through for you bees to be like, celebrate your wins, absolutely, for sure. But make sure you are keeping the momentum up, keeping it going, you know? Where you are at the top of the hill, make sure you turn and look in a new direction and set out to the next mountaintop, you know, or, you know, to create that thing, to bring birth through. Something is trying to birth itself through you, right? Don't let it, you know, stall out, because it'll still birth itself through you for sure, you know, it's in you. But if you stay stuck here, it's going to take a little longer. So just the same way that, you know, the Two of Pentacles upside down is where A's are at. Bees are at are stuck with that. You might find yourself stuck in, where do I go next? Because the Wheel of Fortune falls behind the Empress. So I feel like for this is like, are you going to allow this one thing that worked out for you to be it, and that's it, right? Is it, because like the effort that you put in is what you'll see back. So like, are you going to stop there, or are you going to continue on your journey? You know, are you going to allow that to be the end of your story, so to speak, you know? Because the Wheel of Fortune can certainly, you know, spin in that direction if that's the way you're facing. Unless, you know, are you facing Empress upside down, or are you facing Empress right side up? That is where the Wheel of Fortune will take you. So maybe sit and ponder that for yourself and pull a couple more cards. There's something that needs releasing, that's keeping you stuck. So you got the Eight of Cups and you got the Ten of Swords, which came out upside down, which I feel like is resistance. So the Eight of Cups is kind of coming through with like, for you bees, like you have a lot of thinking to do on the direction that you want to take from here, from where you're standing right now at the top of the hill. You know, are you going to go to the next mountaintop, or are you going to trip, stumble, and fall and wind up at the bottom of the mountain? But the Eight of Cups is kind of like this. I like this card because his cups are all upright, right? They're all full, but he's walking away anyway into the unknown, because he knows in his heart that something is better beyond the horizon. And I feel like that is like really screaming out as the message for you bees, is like, leave behind what no longer serves you. What are you dragging along as the dead anchor? Because you need to release that shit. That's why the Ten of Swords is upside down. Are you feeling like defeated? Like maybe not currently, you know, maybe currently, or maybe like you come full circle. The Wheel of Fortune spins itself in an unfortunate direction, and you wind up with 10 swords in your back. Not literally, you know? Like, I feel like, like, at the end of this, for you bees, like, if you remain stuck, it's like you're continuing a cycle that's just gonna continue on and on and on and on until you walk away, until you move on to what is better for you. Like, you can't keep everything in your life forever, you know? Life is constantly shedding of the old for new things to come in, you know? And I feel like that is what is screaming here for bees. It's like they're saying, like, the guides here are saying, like, let it the fuck go, right? Release that shit. Cut the dead anchor before you completely exhaust yourself, before you're so, like, in survival mode and run down and, you know, laying on the ground with 10 swords in your back that you're like, I'm defeated, you know? I'm just gonna lay here and woe is me. Like, I feel like that's the energy for bees, is I can see where this goes negatively, and the only person who can turn direction for you is you. Like, right now, you're feeling great. Keep up with that, right? Don't stay there in that energy, right? But, like, continue on, continue pedaling, you know? Just keep swimming. But, like, if you allow yourself to see that as, like, oh, well, I've taught myself, where do I go from here? That's the headspace you're calling in. That's the headspace you're at. Like, that is what you're going to get. Is so for bees, like, something needs to go. Something's got to give. Like, I feel like it's something that is, like, very strongly, like, you know what it is. If you're listening to this, like, you know what you're like, I feel like someone out there right now is, like, in their head, shut the fuck up, Brittany. Like, because you know exactly what it is. I'm calling you the fuck out on it. There's something that you've been dragging along that you know in your heart of hearts is not for you anymore. You know, but you're hanging on to it. Maybe because it has value or memories or something attached to it, that you're just not letting yourself let go of. But I swear the sun is shining so fucking bright on the other end once you do let it go. But you won't see it. You'll be stuck here. Yeah, so you got Berkana, which is birth, general fertility, both mental and physical, and personal growth, liberation, regenerative power, light of spring, renewal, promise of new beginnings and new growth. So I feel like, oh, this one wants to come out too. Gifts, both in the sense of sacrifice and of generosity, indicating balance, all matters in relation to exchanges, including contracts, personal relationships, and partnerships. So Berkano and Gibo came out for bees, and I feel like, it's a bee, how funny. I feel like that is just saying, like, when I think of Berkana, I think of, like, it reminds me a lot of, like, the earth. It reminds me of, like, birthing. Like, it's fertility for sure, but, like, I feel like it's, but, like, of other things, not just fertility of, like, you know, procreation, but of, like, birthing things through you, creating things, you know, whatever that means for you, creatively or otherwise. I feel like this is the energy that's trying to come through, doubled with the Empress, you know, it is trying so hard to come through, but you need to make a sacrifice, right? I feel like the runes are literally just saying what the tarot cards said, you know, it's all the same message of something trying to come through, but you need to sacrifice, you need to release something in order for a gift, you know, to be birthed through you, to come through. I feel that very strongly for bees. So that is the reading for the full moon in Capricorn from now, or the last couple of days, until the new moon. Right now it's in Capricorn, which is a lot of like, Capricorn energy is like the physical world. It's a lot about like setting our goals. It's like, it's an earth sign, you know, it's very stable energy. So when the moon, anytime the moon is in Capricorn or any other earth sign, really, it's a call to back to like, what is working in your physical world? What is working in, basically what is working, basically, is Capricorn energy. And if something isn't working, what are the steps to make the changes so it, or whatever, starts working again? Which just kind of goes with the message for bees a little bit. So anyways, that is the reading. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay, let me know in the comments if you chose A or B and if it resonates or not. And I will see you guys at the new moon. I don't know. I never know. It depends on, you know, like I follow a lot of like obviously I do the readings around like the full moon and the new moon, but I don't do it like, oh my God, it's the full moon, I have to do it. Or, oh my God, it's a few days before, you know, like it's a couple days afterwards. And technically the sign is in Aquarius currently, but this is the time that the message needed to come out. Like I don't force it if it's, because I've tried to do that structure, and it just seems to like force the message, and then it doesn't come through right, and it comes out all jarbled and shit. So I allow myself, like I listen to myself and my guides, and when it's ready, and it wanted to come out tonight after the Freya Temple, which is funny because the last couple of days I was really like, oh my God, I gotta do the full moon reading. I had it set planned for in the middle of the day the other day when my son was sleeping, and then when that happened, I was like, I'm not in, you know, a headspace or in like, you know, a connection kind of way. I was like, now's not the right time, basically. So, and then I got this like, this knowing that I was like, you have to do it after the Freya Temple, which I heard that days ago, and I was like, sure. But I was like, but I'll get to it, you know, when the time feels right. And literally, lo and behold, I blinked, and here's the Freya Temple, right? And then I facilitated that, and then literally I was like, oh, it's time to do the full moon reading. So, so basically, what I'm saying is the new moon reading, it'll either happen on the new moon, before, after, whatever the case, whenever it feels like the right time for the messages to come through me. However, I am hosting a Cancer new moon sound bath here at the space at 152 Main Street here in Spencer, office 4, and there is space for 4 participants. It is a intimate gathering where I will be immersing you in a sound bath with my sound bowls for an hour of relaxation and rejuvenation and connection to yourself and the divine underneath the new moon's rejuvenating energy in the sign of Cancer, which is a water sign, and Cancer is very healing, as well as it's like the soft underbelly of a crab. So Cancer's sign is of the crab, which, as you know, crabs are hard on the outside and squishy on the inside. That is also like the metaphorical speaking of the Cancer sign, or Cancer energy. You know, we all have Cancer in one of our houses, so we should look to, like, for this upcoming new moon, like what those like what house our Cancer lies in for us, if we have any planets in it. And we should do that for every full moon and new moon, you know. I mean, I do. It helps. But for the sound bath, we will be going into the chakras of rejuvenating, for releasing, you know, what no longer serves us, what we've kind of, like, what that hard shell that we've been hiding behind, you know. A lot of the time, our responses to things aren't actually coming from, like, where, like, how we're speaking, right? Like, a lot of the time our anger is the shield. That is the outside of the crab, is our anger, is our survival mode. It's our sharp responses. It's our, you know, it's our negative thinking processes. And then we're stripping that all away and getting to the core. What is it? What is anger actually the mask of? Is it sadness? Is it grief? Is it fear? You know? And so we'll be stripping away during this immersing journey the core of that, of the facade of that, to reach the core true meaning within ourselves of what it is that needs healing. Our anger doesn't need healing. Our anger needs stripping away. Our fear needs compassion. Our anxieties need compassion. Our sadness and grief need healing and releasing. And so yeah. So if you are interested, or you, I was going to say, you know, I've got stuff cycling around and whatnot, you come across it, whatever, you know, so that's happening. I think that is next Friday, because it's the 2nd. So, and it's on July 10th. So I think that is next Friday will be the sound bath. So I'm done rambling on and on and on, and I will catch you guys another time. And I hope you enjoyed this reading, and yeah, have a good evening.